Building interactive workshop activities. In this section, you'll learn to construct workshop activities that use interactive elements that effectively engage learners. I'll be introducing you to 12 different types of activities that help support various learning objectives and workshop goals. We'll talk about the purpose of each type of activity and share some examples in order to give you a toolkit of activities to choose from, depending on the goals of your workshop. Let's start with icebreakers and energizers. Why do these matter? Now imagine for a moment walking into a room full of strangers or logging into a virtual session. At first, it can feel a little stiff, right? Well, icebreakers are here to fix that. Their purpose is to warm up the group and set a positive, relaxed tone. So here are a few go-to options. 2 truths and a lie. This game is a fantastic icebreaker because it mixes personal sharing with a little bit of curiosity. In this game, each person shares 2 truths and 1 lie about themselves, and the group has to guess which is the lie. And people generally learn a lot about one another, and it sparks interest, especially when people are surprised at what the lie is. Next is rapid fire introductions. Depending on the amount of time you have, you can do this as quickly or as slowly as you like. For something very quick, you can give participants just 10 seconds to share something unique about themselves. It's fast, fun, and keeps the energy high. Or you might give them a little bit more time to answer other questions like, what are you looking to learn today? And then there are movement-based activities. These are great energizers in the middle of a workshop when you notice the energy getting low. You can try Simon Says in a professional setting. It's playful and gets everyone moving, or just keep it simple with a quick group stretch. Once the energy is up, it's time to get people collaborating. Small group discussions are excellent for fostering deeper connections and encouraging collaboration. Here are 2 classic approaches. Breakout groups, where you divide participants into smaller groups and give each group a specific task or question. The smaller the group, the more it encourages participation from even the quieter folks in the room. And then there's think, pair, share. This method starts with an individual reflection, then moves to partner discussions, and then finally opens up to the larger group for sharing. It's a great way to develop ideas and build the participants' confidence before they're speaking to the full audience. Now let's talk creativity. Brainstorming and collaborative activities are perfect for generating ideas and solutions as a group. And here are a couple ways you can get started. Mind mapping. Use a shared board or digital tool to create a visual map of ideas. It's a great way to see connections between thoughts. Then there's rapid ideation. This is brainstorming on a timer. So you'll set a time limit and encourage participants to share as many ideas as possible. In this case, think quantity over quality. You can flesh out the ideas later. And then collaborative creations. You could build a group charter, which is a list of shared goals. You can co-create a project plan, or even try a fun activity like group storytelling, where everyone adds 1 sentence to build a narrative. It's playful, fun, and sparks imagination. Role-playing and simulations are game changers for building empathy and practicing real-life scenarios. They force participants to think practically and make decisions as if they were truly in that situation. So here are a couple of ideas. Number 1, customer interaction scenarios. You can have participants act out client and employee roles in order to solve a problem. This approach builds practical skills and a deeper understanding of client perspectives. And in some cases, you may want to give them part of a script or details on the situation to start them off. You can also do leadership challenges. This is where participants take on leadership roles and navigate fictional or real-life challenges. They get to practice decision-making and teamwork in a safe and supportive environment. Case studies and problem-solving situations allow participants to connect theory to practice. It's about applying knowledge in real or hypothetical situations. So perhaps you just taught them a new skill. With a case study, you present the details of a challenge or problem where they now need to apply that skill in order to come up with a solution. So you can try a scenario analysis where you present a business scenario and ask participants to propose solutions. Or you can use real life data. You can use case studies or data directly related to your workshop topic and ask participants to come up with solutions based on the data presented. Next up is interactive polls and quizzes. These are a great way to gauge understanding with a quick knowledge quiz and encourage participation by tapping into our competitive nature. There are many polling tools that offer a great user experience, allowing you as the facilitator to present a question and then allow the participants to respond on their personal devices so that everyone is involved and included. There are tools like Mentimeter, Kahoot, or Poll Everywhere. And also, many virtual meeting softwares already include built-in polling tools. And another great way to use live polls is for feedback, to find ways that you can improve on different aspects of the workshop. And also, trivia quizzes are a great way to test knowledge while adding a fun and competitive edge. Gamification is the process of making learning more engaging by turning the content into a game and adding a competitive or reward-based element. Finding ways to turn content into a game truly brings the content to life. Some examples are creating a workshop bingo card with key themes or concepts. You can also adapt existing games, such as board games or card games, using the workshop content. And a great example that I've seen is adapting the game Monopoly in a workshop on real estate. And you can also offer points or small rewards for completing tasks, answering questions, or participation. This provides a bit of an incentive. Visual activities can engage creativity and make abstract concepts more tangible. Visual activities are generally a very positive experience for learners who enjoy creative expression. So some ideas include sketching or drawing, asking participants to illustrate concepts or brainstorm solutions visually. A collaborative collage, where participants add drawings, images, or text to a visual board that represents the theme of the learning objective. And whiteboard tools in virtual conference software facilitate all of this in a digital format. Debates are fantastic for building critical thinking skills and exploring multiple perspectives. In most cases, debates are usually formatted as either pro and con discussions, where you assign participants to argue for or against a topic, or structured argumentation, where teams present their stance and counter opposing views, which encourages thoughtful discussion. And also creating an opportunity to practice communication skills while facilitating deep learning about a topic. For our kinesthetic learners, it is important that we incorporate hands-on learning of a process. Live demonstrations allow participants to see, do, and learn. Keep in mind, simply demonstrating something to learners without letting them try it themselves does not result in the same learning retention levels as allowing the learners to practice. For instance, when you show a process or tool in action, be sure to have the participants replicate it. You may also engage in a step-by-step group construction of a project or activity where the facilitator and participants are working on the project or activity all together, one step at a time. Speaking of retention rates, it's a great time to share with you the learning pyramid, also known as Dale's cone of learning. It's a model that illustrates how much information people retain over time based on the learning experience and the senses involved. So for example, we retain 10% of what we read and 30% of what's demonstrated to us. Now, this number goes up from 30% to 75% when we get a chance to practice. Now, the method that results in the highest retention rate at 90% is when we teach others. For this reason, peer teaching is one of the best ways to solidify learning while engaging your participants. You can try assigning participants to teach a concept that they've learned to their peers, or even pairing participants to explain their understandings to one another. This encourages participants to organize their thoughts about a topic in order to explain it in a way that someone else can understand. And finally, reflection and feedback are key to not only improve the workshop experience for the future, but also to ensure participants leave with clarity and actionable insights. Feedback, debriefing, and reflection allow participants to process the activity, draw connections to the learning goals, and apply their insights to real-world scenarios. So here are 2 simple methods. Round robin. Go around the room and have everyone share one key takeaway or ask a lingering question for clarity. You can also do a stop, start, continue, where you ask the group to share what they'd like the facilitator to stop doing, to start doing, and to continue doing in the workshop. These activities are powerful tools to create a dynamic and impactful learning experience. The key, though, when selecting what types of activities to use, is to use your audience profile to understand your audience and the types of activities that would be most interesting, engaging, and effective for them. For instance, a group of finance professionals might not be interested in a visual collaborative collage exercise. A case study might be more suitable. Secondly, try to pair your learning objective with an activity that effectively facilitates learning. For instance, learning mathematical modeling might not work through a debate. However, gamification, live demonstrations, or problem solving might be more suitable. At the end of the day, these activities help bring learning to life by engaging your learners in tasks that help them achieve their learning objectives.